Hey everyone, just a quick update. It's really a follow-on from the live stream I did a couple of weekends ago. Towards the tail end of that video, I was discussing the set of changes that I really wanted to kind of focus on before I start working on the final feature to the theme creator, which is parent controls. So if you hadn't seen the live stream, that's fine. It was a long video. But in short, I wanted to reduce the number of UI elements that you can select from when you're adding these UI elements to a particular view. That list, certainly from the game view, was so long it was actually scrollable on a 4K display. So that was outrageous. So I went through an exercise over the past 2 weeks and look at like-for-like UI elements. There were a lot of text-based UI elements there that essentially did the same thing. They just displayed a different value. And likewise with some of the image related UI elements. So essentially the bulk of the work was completed this morning. I sent a preview build out to a couple of guys for them to test and make sure that their existing themes will load and convert correctly, and for them to continue work and also get feedback. So I had a couple of changes to make earlier on. I still have a couple of bugs to iron out, but for the most part it's almost ready to put out there on the forum. So just give me a couple of days. With this particular version, there are some subtle UI tweaks for sure, but under the covers, there's an awful lot going on. And as I hinted at, if you have developed themes or you're in the process of developing a theme right now, it would be wise to kind of back up your work before you start using this version when it becomes available, because your projects, your theme projects, will get converted on the fly to utilize these new enhanced UI elements, because I've made an awful lot of UI elements obsolete. Okay, so you won't lose any work, but I am actually converting some of your UI elements over to other UI element types behind the scenes. It will be transparent to you, but as you can imagine, there's a margin of error there. So I just want to give it a few more days, a little bit more testing from myself and 2 other guys, and if all looks good, then I'll ship the version out. Anyway, with that said, let's jump straight in. I don't want to keep you hanging around. So we'll fire up the plain and simple community edition, and let me pick. There's 3 views, right? Bright, medium, dark. I'll go for the medium, and I'll go into edit. All right, so let me click on the add UI element list. As you can see, it's greatly reduced. Okay, I've tried to simplify it as best as I can, and I've changed up some of the icons here on the left. Hopefully they make a little bit more sense, they stand out. But we're going to jump straight down to here. It's basically the generic text field. So we're going to add text. I'll put it here just so it's visible by everyone, and then I'll scroll down, and there's a couple of things on here that I wish to show you, and you've probably already noticed it. So let me just increase the font to 30, and you still can key in some constant text. And let me just align it so it's center. My OCD is kicking in, so centered with the video, okay, pretty much. So what you can do here, I was going to add a different font. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yeah. Ow. Okay, how about that? So let me scroll up. As you may have already noticed, foreground has had a little tweak. So it's set to color, as you would see in your current build. And again, you know, you can pick a color, fine. You can select gradient, fine. You know, you can do all that. Nothing's changed except for this. So now you can say, you know what, I want an image. And just like with anything, it wants a folder. So it just so happens I have some quick and dirty textures that I pulled off the web. And now you can apply, let's see, yeah, because I haven't really tested it, I just pulled them off the web. Let's see what gives us the best. Yeah, and then while we're at it, let's dark outline. Yeah. All right, so let me just go back up to color. I just want to pick a different and fill and vector. Okay. Geometric. Yeah. All right. So anyway, you can now apply textures. So if you have some metallic textures you wish to apply to your text or wood or whatever, glass, then this is another way that you can do it. Okay. So I'm going to leave that here because there is a few other things I wish to do. Let me just expand this a little bit. Told you it's my OCD. I'm going to reduce the font just a little bit because it all depends on what value I'm going to show here. So again, you know, this is where you would key in the text, if it's a label or whatever it may be that you're displaying on screen. But now you have the option to say metadata. Okay, so now you can actually pick the field that you're interested in. And in this case, we are in a game view. So these are all the game related metadata fields that are available to you for display. So application path, for example, same formatting applies. So if I wish to wrap, I can do so. Okay, and I'm just going to go down through these. So community rating 2.6, as you can see. The game title or the game name, the developer, notes, not scrollable, that's a different UI element. This is just a fixed block of text for notes, the platform name, number of times played, publisher, your own user rating. I haven't played this game and I haven't given it any rating, so it's 0.0. Now what's interesting on here, if I pick game developer, of course I'm getting values for everything, so this is not a good thing. Let me see, arcade view might be a better one, but if I can key in a fallback value here, like unknown developer, and press enter. Okay, I'm going to save, and I'm going to pick arcade, and let's see, go down through the games list here. They probably all populated, knowing my luck. Yeah, I have a sneaky suspicion they're all populated. Yeah. Yep. Okay, well, better luck with the graphics side of things, hopefully. So I've got metadata present for all this stuff, but if you don't, you can put a fallback value in and it'll display that. Now, as we're talking about, I think that was it on the text. So you can have basically a texture that you can apply as opposed to a color. You can select a metadata value to display instead of hard-coded text. I think that was it on here. Everything else remains the same. I'm going to click on this existing image UI element. There's a couple of things on here that have changed too. You know what? Let me just pick one from scratch. So, image, and as you can see, as soon as I selected image to be added to the view, it defaults to this image not available. So at least this way now you know where these objects are on the screen instead of not being displayed at all, and it's very difficult to see where all these things are, and you're scrolling up and down through the list to see, and you're clicking on these things randomly just to see if that's the object, the object you're interested in. Anyway, it will display this fallback value now. So if I scroll down to here where it says image, this is where you would ordinarily, click on your folder, click the image to display. You've seen this all before, but a similar radio button for metadata. You click that, and now you can say, you know what? I want the banner, or because this is arcade, let's see, I don't know, do I have marquee? Oh, I do. I have marquee available for this particular game. Clear logo, yep. Box back, oh I do, wow. Box front, none. Game background, game screenshot, yep, okay, cool. And platform clear logo, there you go. So it will go through the different images that are available as long as you've downloaded the metadata. It will present the image here. Now there's a couple of interesting things here. If I select game, now this is a little different. So this gives you the opportunity to then select a folder that contains images that are named the same as the game, and it will pull that image in. Same is true for platform. Okay, so you may have a folder dedicated to certain platform related images. You just simply say, here's the folder, and it's going to use the platform name .png and pick up that image and display it. Okay, so that's how that's going to work. And then if it doesn't find an image, you have the ability to specify a fallback image. Okay, so a little bit more powerful this go around than the prior build. Gives you a little bit more flexibility. And again, if it's just a hard-coded image, it's the same as it's always been. All right. Made a little tweak to user-defined video. Again, video not available as a fallback image until you actually select a video, and I don't believe I have any in this list. Let's see. Nope. Nope, nope. But if I did, obviously it would play the video, but in this case there is no video for me to display, so therefore it's showing this fallback video not available image. And again, very useful because now you can see where all your objects are on screen. Who would have thought? So that's basically it. Text and image related UI elements have been condensed so that all this processing is all grouped together, and I don't have this horrendous list of UI elements to select from. Now let me see. Let's come out of here. I don't want to save. I don't really want that. Let me just pop back in, because when I send this build out, I'll be sending it with that text field. Alright, so save. And as you can see here, when you're previewing, so you can see all your full animations running. In this case, there is no image to be displayed. Okay? It's only when you're in the editor will it actually show this image not available. You will not see it in the main screen here. All right. That was some of the feedback I received this afternoon. Okay. Keeps things a little bit cleaner. System options. Oh, this is a perfect one actually. So if I edit the view, and the editor will not display animations that move up, you want to do it, and there is a new UI element at the top left. You can't click on it. You can, it's real basic functionality, so I can center it, left align, right align. I can drop it to the bottom. Whoops, drop it to the bottom, center, and then left. I'm just going to put it in the middle, and then it will be on top of everything and anything. It's the foremost object on the system options view. And then obviously when you publish, license to your name and the current build of BigBox will appear in here. So you can't delete it. It will always generate this code. Yeah, so I put that into, I think it was 1.104.3 last week, but I did it in a hurry. This time around, I've got the text scaling as you resize the window, so it's all, you know, proportional now. Okay. Other than that, the logic still remains the same. It's always in the foreground. It's always on top of anything and everything, and you really can't do much with it other than change its color and change the alignment, positioning, and that's it. And that was about it. So I told you it was mainly UI tweaks. On the surface, it certainly doesn't look like a great deal of work that's been done, but under the covers, an awful lot of work has been done, because it is mapping over all your projects, and if any of your UI elements were based on the UI elements that have been made obsolete now, they're migrated over to one that best fits, with all the correct values and whatnot. So to you, it makes no difference. It should still pop up and it should still work just fine. But it was a great deal of effort on my part to make sure that that works. But anyway, that's essentially it. I can't think of anything else to show really. Like I said, it was something that I really wanted to get done before I start work on the final feature. It reduced the code base quite significantly. Let me see if I can drag the current exe. So this was 1043, I believe. No, this is 1050. So this is one that I'm ready to send out. Okay, never mind then. So yeah, I saved about 250K of code. That's how much was removed. So that was that's kind of a big deal for me. It means I can actually tackle the final feature, and with less code there, I should be able to finish that particular exercise a lot faster. But anyway, I digress. Like I said, this build should be out in a couple of days. I just want to make sure that at least 3 of us kind of put it through its paces and make sure that there are no other issues before I put it out there on the forum. Okay, so like I said, I wanted to keep this video short, and I'm gas bagging. So anyway, have a good one, and like I said, just keep your eyes peeled for the update in a couple of days. All right, take care.